Hello, friends. Welcome back again to the I Have a Vision Academy YouTube channel. In short, I Have Academy. So, without wasting our further time, let's start today's session. First, a small topic. Before going forward, please tell me one thing. Is any country which don't have a constitution? Think about it. क्या ऐसी कोई कंट्री है जिसके पास कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं है? डजेंट मैटर रिटन फॉर्म और अनरिटन फॉर्म. अनरिटन में भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एक वी हैव अ सुपरफिशियल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बुक ना, पर ऐसी कंट्री है. डज देयर एग्जिस्ट एनी कंट्री विच डू नॉट हैव अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन? सो द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज नो, बिकॉज व्हाट इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन? इट इज अ लॉ बुक or laws which are implemented on the soil of a country. Doesn't matter if a king is ruling it or a representative government is ruling it or a presidential form of government is ruling it. It doesn't matter. The laws or the rules, if are implemented on a soil of a particular country, that is nothing but their constitution. So there will not be any country which doesn't have a constitution unless वो country ही नहीं है या उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा civil rights ही हो गए हों कि कोई किसी की सुन नहीं रहा. Like I think in somewhere in West Africa there is some country which is a failed state. So this was a small question. Functions of constitution. It reflects the ideology and philosophy of a nation or of the constitutional fathers जिन्होंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया. उनकी आइडियोलॉजी, उनकी फिलॉसफी, उनकी विजन, ये सब रिफ्लेक्ट करता है हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सेकंड क्या करता है? गिव्स it gives or defines the power of government. We have seen in the technical definition and also the manner to exercise them. Regulates relation between people and government. How? Fundamental duties, fundamental rights, because they are restricting in nature. The fundamental rights are restricting the government to use its power in an arbitrary manner. So it regulates the relation. Doesn't mean regulation means it is a tough regulation or a flexible regulation. It means only regulation. Okay, optimization. Regulates relation between people and government. Fourth, very basic law, basic function. Being an organic law of land, it validates all other laws and customs also. ठीक है, लॉज क्या है? फॉर्मली जो लॉज बने हुए हैं. कस्टम्स क्या है? द ट्रेडिशनल कस्टम्स, द ट्रेडिशनल हैबिट्स और प्रैक्टिसेस दैट वी यूज टू फॉलो in any religion. So if a custom or law is going against the provision of constitution, so the judiciary will strike it down, will nullify those customs or those laws. If I give you an example, Jallikattu. Another example, Sati. One more example, recent example, Titi. What is it? Triple talaq. So the customs as well as laws have to be in conformity with the provisions of the constitution. This is the fourth one. We can relate one more point from this third point. It regulates the behavior of citizens also, or anarchy will prevail. The state will become a failed state. Okay, so this is the as similar to point 3 only, because it regulates relation between people and government, but you can write it in a different point. Okay, what was this point? It regulates the behavior of the citizens or the people of a country, so that anarchy will not be there. That is the fourth one. So these are all the functions of the constitution. Not that much important, but you have to kind of remember these. You can add one more point to that function, which we have discussed in the technical definition of the constitution, that it provides organizational framework of the government. It is a very tiny point. Basic features of Indian constitution. So what happened in our past, that in 1934 M.N. Roy gave the idea or the concept of forming a constituent assembly. The Indian National Congress has accepted this idea in 1935, and the British has accepted this proposal or idea of constituent assembly in the August offer. Okay, so in 1946 cabinet mission plan arrived in India, and hence our constituent assembly has been formed. Okay, so when the constituent assembly is formed in November 1946, it was partly elected and partly nominated. What was the mode of election? Indirect. Remember that neither Jinnah nor Mahatma Gandhi was part of Constituent Assembly. Okay. So now the Constituent Assembly has been formed. What are the members? 389 before partition, after 299 remained. Okay, but what is the importance of these nominated members? Because in UK democracy is there. So how come these nominated members are part of a constituent assembly? Because हमारे यहाँ रजवाड़े थे, प्रिंसली स्टेट्स। तो एक प्रिंस तो चाहेगा नहीं कोई भी उसके स्टेट से चले जाए, कॉमन आदमी या कॉमन मैन। तो इसीलिए हमारे जो संविधान निर्माता हैं, हिंदी भी आनी चाहिए थोड़ी, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मेकर्स, उन्होंने क्या किया, इन प्रिंसेस को नॉमिनेट कर दिया। द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मेकर्स इन्वाइटेड द प्रिंसली स्टेट्स टू कम बी अ पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली। ओके, दिस इज अ सब टॉपिक। $299 बच गए अब। फर्स्ट मीटिंग हुई, (1946) को, ठीक है, नवंबर में गठित की गई। एंड ऑन 1 दिसंबर 1946 द फर्स्ट मीटिंग वॉज हेल्ड। इन दिस मीटिंग सचिद, वेरी टंग ट्विस्टिंग वर्ड, सचिदानंद सिन्हा was made the interim president. Okay. दो दिन बाद in second meeting 11 December 1946 the permanent president was elected. Who was he? Our first president of India, Rajendra Prasad, was the permanent president of the Constituent Assembly. And there were two vice president also. We don't have to remember, some Mukherjee and some other person. 2 days after, 13 December 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru, our first prime minister, put forward the objective resolution. JLN, Jawaharlal Nehru. ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन था क्या? इट इज काइंड ऑफ द प्रेजेंट प्रीएम्बल. द ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन एनविजन्स द फ्यूचर इंडिया. What does the future India will look like? It will be a republic, a sovereign country, a democratic country. It will cherish the ideals of freedom, struggle. These all things are written in the objective resolution, which was put forward in the Constituent Assembly by Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay. Please emphasize on the spelling of committee. It is very tricky when double M, double T, double E. The 13 committees were formed, 11 sessions were held, and after 3 years, I think 11 months and 18 days, the constitution has been formed. ये मैंने ऐसे रिमेंबर किया है, ये देखो इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर पे, तो मुझे परफेक्ट, वैसे तो परफेक्ट है पर फिर भी आप देख लेना एक बार, क्योंकि ये इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर है। आपको 3, 11 और 18 याद रखना है बस। 3 years, 11 months, 18 days. I think this is 2. I think. Okay. Okay, out of this 13 committees, the most important was, we all know, drafting committee consisting of 7 members headed by Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. But we have to remember all these 7 members, like some Mr. Iyengar, then Mr. Munshi, Iyer. So we have to remember all these 7. This is all about the Constituent Assembly. The symbol of Constituent Assembly was elephant. Calligraphy is done by Prem Bihari Rai Zada something. So these are all the information about Constituent Assembly. Yeah, the important part is it has been formed by Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. So can I say Constituent Assembly is a sovereign body? Ponder upon it. See, the logic is hidden behind this term. Cabinet Mission Plan. If I add one more term to this, you will be able to figure out. Cabinet Mission Plan Act of 1946. But the Indian Parliament was not there. Means it was there. We will dwell into this in future. But Indian Constitution was in formation at that period of time. So whose law is this? Because it includes Act. Yes. UK Parliament. So can I now say the Constituent Assembly is sovereign body? The answer will be no. Okay. But as soon as the Indian Independence Act of 1947 has been passed by the UK government, then the Constituent Assembly has become a purely sovereign body. Okay. Coming back to the basic features of Indian Constitution. We all have heard about this lengthiest constitution. Why it was lengthiest? Because it was like a carbon copy of, which is one of the criticism. It was a carbon copy of the Government of India Act of 1935, which itself was very bulky. And we have added some more provisions in that particular act. This act was made by the British Parliament to be implemented in India. See, the date is before 1947. On 1947, India got independence. Large diversity. India accommodates large diversity in terms of linguistic or in terms of regional, okay, or in terms of religion, okay. Then the tribes are also there. The concepts like FR, DPSP, FDs are explained in a thorough manner. Then restrictions of FR are also explained. See, these are the terms of our future classes. Fundamental rights, FRs. DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy. It means the Constitution has laid down some policies or some statements that are kind of which works as a base mark of the future legislation of the parliament. Okay. Fundamental duties FDs, these are for citizens. कब आई थी 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से इन 1976 एट टाइम ऑफ इमरजेंसी. धीरे धीरे याद आता रहता है किस कौन सी कमेटी ने रिकमेंड की थी, स्वर्ण सिंह कमेटी ने. सो दीज आर द फीचर्स that make the Indian Constitution lengthiest. Okay. अच्छा, other term is only one constitution for center and state both, unlike American. In America we have 50 states. Okay, that's why their flag has 50 stars. From each state, if I take the Indian reference, 2 MPs will be nominated. So in their legislature there are 100 members. Okay. So in these 50 states of America, there are 50 constitutions. Also they have dual flag, okay, dual anthems, dual citizenship. We don't have such kind of provisions. Only one constitution for center and state. Yes, and the last one point, the constitution is open for amendments. I think 103rd was last and 104th was in progress. So that's why we have lengthiest constitution. Now when the Constituent Assembly has been formed, so one committee was drafting committee. So B.R. Ambedkar with his colleagues went to the trip to different countries to see how their constitution has been made. All the good points of the constitution of the other countries has been taken and imbibed in our Indian constitution. So what are these drawn provisions from various sources? The first is the country which ruled us. The rule of law concept. Single citizenship. Okay. Then some basic term, working of parliament, and this parliament, all things related to most probably parliament. I am not giving you all, okay, only important. Preamble, fundamental rights, most of the things related to judiciary, judicial review, president, head of 3 forces or the commander of the 3 forces, election of the president, no, impeachment, sorry. Impeachment of president. Then comes Ireland, 2 important, DPSP and from Ireland we have taken DPSP and election of president. Australia, concurrent list. We have three kinds of list. In one, only union can make legislations. On second, only state can make legislation, and in third, both union and state will make legislation. These are the areas. Okay, like water will come into state's list, policing will come into state list, armed forces will come into union list. Okay, in concurrent list, if state and union has made laws, both have made laws, so the union law will prevail. This is kind of basic of list. It is in 7th schedule of our constitution. Okay, remember this for now. ऑस्ट्रेलिया से हमने कंकरेंट लिस्ट लिया, साउथ अफ्रीका से अमेंडमेंट ऑफ 2/3 मेजॉरिटी. ओके, जर्मनी से हमने लिया सस्पेंशन ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स इन केस ऑफ इमरजेंसी. फ्रॉम रशिया वी हैव टेकन फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज. अभी पढ़ा हमने 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में डाले गए ये. From Japan we have taken rule of working of Supreme Court. Canada. From Canada we have taken residuary powers. The residuary powers, I think the article is 248, are in the hands of the Union. It means in the near future some space explorations are there and man starts living on the Mars. So this kind of residuary powers, the law making power of Indian government on Mars, will be at the hands of the Union and not of the state in India. The Union will make laws in the areas which are not provided in the Constitution. These are called residuary powers. So the residuary powers in India will lie in the hands of the Union. One more. Federation with strong center. What does it mean? Means we are not a proper federal country because we don't have dual citizenship, dual flags, dual anthem. Okay, the USA is the pure federal form of government. किसके व्यू पॉइंट से? उनके व्यू पॉइंट से, हमारे व्यू पॉइंट से नहीं. ठीक है. From itself GOI Act 1935 we have taken federal scheme, most important federal scheme, the office of the governor. Then we have blend of flexibility and rigidity. I have explained you both terms. Rigidity means some provisions of the constitution require special majority in the legislature to amend those provisions. The flexibility means some provisions are very easy to amendments, like Article 3, or carving out state from another state like Telangana. Okay. This was from Canada. Federation with central tilt or unitary bias. What does it imply? Yes, we are federation, but we are federation of our own kind, of our Indian soil. This term is also called sui generis. We are federation sui generis. We are federation of our own kind. Okay. We have unitary bias. So I will take another class to exemplify this, how we are unitary bias and how we are federal. In today's class, we will focus upon only the basic features. Independent and integrated judiciary. This is self-explanatory term. Integrated means all the district courts, session courts, high courts comes under the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. The judiciary in our country has been made in a hierarchical order. Very easy point. Blend of parliamentary sovereignty with judicial supremacy. What does this imply? Means parliament is sovereign. The house or the legislature is sovereign in making the laws of country. Judiciary can't interfere in the law making procedure of the parliament. It means parliament will make his own rule for the house, for the working of the parliamentary house. You understood? This is parliamentary sovereignty. What is judicial supremacy? It means judiciary is supreme in its area. If anything comes under the area of judiciary, so in that particular area, parliament can't dominate judiciary. Okay. Otherwise, parliament will make judiciary succumb to its demands. So we have to have both in the democratic country like India, parliamentary sovereignty as well as judicial supremacy. कल को अगर कोई भी केस होता है गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ, ये कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, सबसे जो बिगेस्ट लिटिगेंट है इन आवर कंट्री इज गवर्नमेंट. सारे केसेस गवर्नमेंट पे होते हैं ज़्यादातर. तो कभी भी whenever there is a case between the government of India and the state or a person particular. So the judiciary will not be biased. It can act independently to give its decree. This is the blend of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. This is one of the basic features of our constitution. सब एक्सप्लेन्ड है इसमें. In the unforeseen circumstances, for example, if a country has declared war upon India, so the constitution is made such that it can accommodate an instant change in our provisions of the constitution. What are the instant changes? These we will ponder upon in the further lectures. So this is the emergency. Which article? Gap of 4, 352, 356, 360. National emergency, president's rule, financial emergency. Okay. Universal adult franchisee means those who are 18 and above, those who are mature or adults, they are eligible to vote. Okay. Single citizenship means unlike USA which has dual citizenship concept, the Indian constitution don't follow the dual citizenship provision. It means in USA first you are the citizen of California and at the end you will be a citizen of USA. हमारे इंडिया में डाइवर्सिटी कितनी है. सबसे पहले आप क्रिश्चियन हो, उसके बाद आप एक स्टेट पर्टिकुलर ट्राइब से हो, फिर उस ट्राइब के एक पर्टिकुलर आप स्टेट से हो, फिर उस स्टेट में आप एक पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज बोलते हो. वी आर एकोमोडेटिंग अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी. हम उसको प्रॉब्लम बढ़ाना नहीं चाहते एक और सिटीजनशिप ऐड करके. सो इन इंडिया डजेंट मैटर यू आर लिविंग इन स्टेट ऑफ हरियाणा, पंजाब, तेलंगाना, तमिलनाडु, यू विल बी कॉल्ड अ सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया और आपको एक ही जैसी फंडामेंटल राइट सारी मिलनी है. ओके. सो दीज आर सम बेसिक फीचर्स ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. I think this is enough for the basic class. Okay, one small concept, if you allow me to explain, because I think small videos are better for the clarity of the concept. Coming to the topics of rights, there are three kinds of rights given by constitution. First one, constitutional right. The constitutional rights are those rights which are given outside part 3 of constitution. So let us understand what is part 3 of constitution. See, our constitution has 25 parts. So our constitution has 25 parts, 12 schedules and 395 articles as of now. Out of this 25 parts, the part 3 of our constitution deals with the fundamental right. Fundamental rights are the basic rights given by a country to its citizen. अगर ये राइट्स हम नहीं देते तो एक पर्सन अपने लाइफ का जो पोटेंशियल है उसको अचीव नहीं कर सकता, कोई भी डायमेंशन में, पॉलिटिकली, इकोनॉमिकली, स्पिरिचुअली, साइकोलॉजिकली. Okay. So part 3 of the constitution deals with the fundamental right. What are these fundamental rights given in from article 12 to what it is 35? Yes, I think this is correct. So the rights which are instilled in the part 3 of the constitution are called fundamental rights. The rights which are given outside the part 3 of the constitution are called constitutional rights. Example: 300A, right to property. Ordinary rights are not instilled in the constitution, that's why they are called ordinary rights. Example: मनरेगा 2005 का, मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट एक्ट 2017, आधार बिल. तो ये सारे ऑर्डिनरी लीगल राइट्स हैं. तो एक छोटा सा कंसेप्ट था. सो आज की क्लास के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं. इन नेक्स्ट क्लासेस वी विल प्रोसीड विद द चैप्टर 1 ऑफ लक्ष्मीकांत बुक. इफ़ यू लाइक माई स्टाइल ऑफ टीचिंग, प्लीज़ लाइक दिस वीडियो, शेयर इट विद योर फ्रेंड्स एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल. तब तक के लिए जय हिंद.